Hey guys, Deathman here. Back again, this time with a trailer review. The champions have assembled to talk about the epic trailer that Marvel dropped earlier this week for the Eternals. This is the second and final trailer, and we got some really thrilling moments out of that trailer. So I want to talk to the entire panel about what they thought of it, what's the potential for the movie, and yeah, just some good Jack Kirby, Stan Lee. Well, this is all Jack actually here with the Eternals, but let's start off proper with the Grandmaster. What did you think of that new trailer? Do you think it was better than the first one?
Absolutely. Where the first one showed the what Chloe Zhao can do with her cinematography, the landscapes and everything, what she captures with cameras. It's a Cersei Icarus love story. That's what you get. It's also been said by Kevin Feige. Okay, that's fine. But in the second trailer, you get to see more about the story itself. There were some biblical references, the 7 days, etc. You see all the Eternals, or at least a few. You see their skills and their powers come to life, and they look awesome. I mean, when you see Angelina Jolie's Fina with the spear and the shield, how she creates that and fight the deviant creature, yeah. That looks amazing. It really gave me it really pumped me up, this trailer, and I like that they addressed the Thanos question. Why didn't you help us fight Thanos? By the way, where was Black Knight? But that's another story. He wasn't there either. But I like that they addressed that question, and yeah, overall, yeah, awesome trailer, and honestly, personally, I already said so on the board before. I have a feeling that this is going to be Best Picture nominee for next year at the Oscars.
Wow, that's high praise. So the trailer did look awesome. It did look epic. And I'm glad that they addressed the question of where were the Eternals, blah, blah, blah. You know, that question comes up so much. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little fatigued with it. It's like, dude, where was your grandma? You know, who cares? Right? Like they can't travel back in time and sort of put people in there retroactively all into a gigantic fight. And it's also antithetical to the nature of the Eternals, which I will get into a little later on. But Jeff, I know that you are spoiling, that you are chomping at the bit to get on this one. You were not too thrilled by the first, to say the least, you were not too thrilled by the first Eternals trailer. Let me know, what did you think of this? Did they make up for it on this second one?
Yeah. I mean, they certainly redeemed themselves with this trailer without question. I mean, they brought the action angle to the trailer, which is what was missing in the first trailer, was the action and the special effects and everything. You know, there were some shots that kind of reminded me of like Superman, when they showed, like, the laser beams coming from the guy's eyes and everything and whatnot. Like, the action scenes were great. I would have liked to have seen the Black Knight more. I would have liked to have seen that more, like him in action, like him actually fighting. With the sword and everything like that, I would have liked to have seen, but no, it was a dramatic change, a big improvement from the first trailer. We actually got to see the deviants for the first time. I felt like that was important. We got to see a Celestial. I'm not sure which one that was, but we got to see a Celestial, so that was definitely like a major thing, like that we're going to be getting Celestials in this film. So, I thought it was great. I mean, if I had to rate the trailer, I'd give it probably another 8.5 out of 10, probably. That's about what I'd give it.
Wow. And I know you were down in the dumps. They threw your heart in the garbage can on that last one. So this is a huge comeback in terms of Marvel making good on it for Jeff. But thank you for sharing your notes there. Biz, what did you think of this new trailer? How are you feeling? It's this sweeping historical epic. We're going to open up the Marvel cosmology even further. I mean, we're bringing celestials, like these godlike beings that are, as tall as skyscrapers. How are you feeling about the movie, and what did you think of this trailer?
Yeah, the trailer was awesome. Like I remember someone once said that the job of a trailer is to raise your excitement level, and that's what it did for me. It had action, it had drama. I love the like Grandmaster said, it looks the movie obviously looks beautiful, with the imagery and the cinematography. Yeah, like you got to see more of the Eternals' powers, the deviants themselves, and like as Jeff pointed out, a celestial. So that's good. They brought that back. Like Marvel has a good track record of like continuity, because the first time we saw a celestial was in Guardians of the Galaxy, when I think they were being explained where the Infinity Stones came from or something. But yeah, it was good to see that again. Yeah, like and also the Emergence, where like it was mentioned right in the beginning of the trailer, where like there was some kind of energy output when everyone came back from the snap. That kind of like obviously it's been done before, like with certain energy coming out of something. Like it did remind me specifically though. I'm pretty sure it's been done in other comics, but specifically this one where how if anyone has heard of the title Deadly Genesis. But anyway, a similar
Sounds
thing
familiar.
happened.
Does
Yeah, a
ring a
similar
bell,
thing.
but I'm not too familiar with it. But go ahead.
Yeah, a similar thing happened where like energy, like a mutant was saying, one of the what's the X-Men was saying, like, where did all that energy? I can't remember exactly what the event was, but then in the next comic arc is when Vulcan appeared, and then he was like a super powerful mutant, like I think he was like an Omega level mutant, and just to point out how strong he was, he eventually took over like the Shi'ar Empire. That's how strong he was. So yeah, he became Emperor Vulcan. So
Indeed.
yeah.
Yeah, and King in Black, that series with Gabriel Summers, right? Vulcan. I think you and I are fans there. Really like that character. And yeah, you touched on a piece of speculation, of course, that's running wild in the fandom ever since the trailer came out. Is the Emergence going to mean mutants, right? Every chance that we get to speculate that mutants are on their way, we need to take it. This is the 1001th time, but yes, here we go in speculation world. But yeah, it sounds like you've got high praise for the trailer and you're looking forward to the movie. I'm not mischaracterizing any of that. Any reservations?
No, not really. I think maybe there might be concerns that I'm indie-ish, but from this trailer, it looks like just like a good old Marvel movie, like a unique one at that, because we're dealing with, I guess, in effect, gods amongst humans, like with their power sets and the way they've just been observing us. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like bread at the table at Olive Garden. You know you're gonna get it, right? You can rely on it. It's gonna be there for you. Taylor, I wanted to talk to you about this from the point of view of comic books in general, right? Because you and me there, we're deep in the floppies. Not to disrespect Jeff, but she has a really different visual style than what Kirby did in the Eternals comic books. Tell me how you thought about the trailer and how you feel about her sort of deviating with this, with the more naturalistic sort of nomad land look, instead of like having everything be crackling and popping with color, all that kind of stuff. What do you think?
Well, I'm not real familiar with the Eternals from the comics, but of course I am very familiar with Kirby's work and his style. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of it than what was given away in this trailer. I think in some of the climax scenes of this movie, I think we might see a little bit of Kirby-esque visuals going on. But first of all, I loved the first trailer. And I watched it multiple times, and I like it more every time I see the first trailer. But this one took it to, or showed us a whole nother aspect of this movie. All right, the action, and believe me, guys, the actions that they showed in this trailer is going to be the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see mind-blowing action in this movie. But what I loved about it is it not only did it, just blatantly answer the dumb fanboy question about Thanos, which is a dumb fanboy question. Speaking as a dumb fanboy myself, that is a dumb question. But they answered that. They answered stuff without spelling it out either. You know what this movie is? It's the Magnificent Seven, or the Seven Samurai, if you prefer that version of the story.
Yeah.
Salma Hayek rides up and meets up with the other guy and says, "We've got 7 days, not to save a Mexican village, but to save the world from the invading Celestials and their deviant hordes. We've got to gather up these warriors that we know, and save and protect this planet that we love so much, because we're just nice people." But it's going to show us, that's how they're going to introduce all the characters. Brilliant. Exactly the way they did it in the Magnificent Seven. Pick up each one, add them to the group, tell you just enough you need to know about this guy to know where this character is coming from, what their motivation is. They're going to show us a few flashbacks of ancient history with more incredible visuals and stuff to see what they've been doing their whole life of the past 7,000 years. And then they are going to get into a humongous climax in third act of this movie with Celestials and Deviants and God knows what else. And then I can't even imagine the Easter eggs. But the visuals, I have never seen anything Chloe Zhao did. I didn't see Nomadland, but the visuals just in these trailers are spectacular. And the music is already spectacular. And the costumes are spectacular.
Yeah.
And the acting, I know a lot of the actors. The actors are incredible. And by the way, I want to say that I think there's going to be some breakout characters from this movie. And the three I'm going to predict are, of course, Icarus, Cersei, and we've seen Gemma Chan in Captain Marvel in a different role, but she's an incredible actress. If you've never seen her in the TV series Humans, her performance in that show alone is all the reason you need to watch that show. She is amazing in that. So I think she's going to be another breakout character, and I'm going to predict the third breakout character is going to be Sprite. I think she's going to be a little scene stealer, and I cannot be more excited about this movie.
Outstanding. Yeah, I feel similarly. The trailer was just such a adrenaline rush for me, and I loved the first trailer, but I know I was hopelessly biased as an early fan of the Eternals. But Grandmaster, you've been holding a follow-up for a little while. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, it's about the Emergence, because in this trailer they make a very smart cut, and I think it's a misdirect. When Black Knight asked Cersei why you guys weren't around to fight Thanos, and she said we were instructed not to get involved unless deviants were involved, and then they cut by who, and then they cut to the Celestial. I don't think he's the one who instructed the Eternals. I think he's the one they're preventing to emerge.
Yeah, I do feel that there's also a bit of misdirection going on there. What's your bet? Laying it all on the table. Are we going to see Wolverine fully formed as an adult hacking his way through the third act of Eternals? Are we going to get mutants?
No.
No mutants.
No mutants. Nope, they're going to hold that. Like we discussed last week, or on the podcast we recorded a few weeks back, they're going to hold that for a few years still. So maybe Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, maybe, but I still have my doubts. But no, not in Eternals.
Indeed. There might be a little foundational work done in there, but it'll probably just be a sliver, if anything at all. So you guys have heard it here from the panel, from the champions. This is a great second trailer, and we're all really excited for this project. Me especially, and I have to sound off here as well, taking off my moderator hat just for a moment. I was always a huge fan of the Eternals. When I read it as a kid, it was the first comic book that I'd read from any publisher, honestly, that tried to go a little bit beyond what the genre is typically known for. People in flashy costumes, a lot of action, adventure, violence. You could tell Kirby was aiming at larger ideas. He was reading a little bit of speculative science fiction, trying to answer questions about the origins of man. He really didn't want to play in the superhero sandbox And the Eternals were actually created as a separate property that he meant to keep isolated from the rest of the Marvel universe. He had to be forced into putting them into Marvel stories with the Hulk and Thor and all of those other characters. So this project is really close to my heart as a fan of it in terms of what Kirby was trying to do. And my biggest fear is that it could be misunderstood, because everyone's really like, you know what, they got funny pajamas on, they got crazy weapons. Surely this is X-Men Light or Inhumans 2. But the Eternals is really something different. They're not superheroes in the most traditional sense, even though they kind of serve that function similarly in the genre. So I've got big aspirations for this, and I hope it goes over well. But Biz, I saw that you had your hand up. Was that a false alarm there?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I'd just like to add on to what Grandmaster was saying. Like, if that's the case, if a Celestial's coming, that they're trying to prevent him, it's a nice parallel to like Fantastic Four, because they had to stop Galactus from coming. So like a group of heroes trying to prevent a more powerful being from like destroying the world. It would be cool to see.
Okay, so you're saying Galactus, Celestials dance off, Act 4.
Exactly. Yeah.
What a win.
Who did it better?
Indeed, guys. But yeah, we have a stunner of a trailer. The visuals look gorgeous. The whole Superman reference with Icarus and the I-beams, anybody with lasers coming out of their eyes is a win for me. Love the trailer. Want to get closing remarks from anybody here, starting with Grandmaster.
I think it's a bit funny we get a Superman-like character before Man of Steel 2 is even put on the roster. But anyway, I
didn't want to say it, but Grandmaster did, so it's out wild there.
I don't care. People can come for me. I actually disagree with Taylor about his third breakout character in the from the Eternals. He said Sprite, but I think there's a little bit of a problem with Sprite. Sprite is, as I understand it, a character that doesn't age.
None of them do.
No, exactly. And well, if you take a 12-year-old girl and she films the Eternals movie, let's say in 2019, and then you're gonna do a sequel somewhere in 2025 when she's 20.
Just de-age her, brother.
Yeah, but I don't think you can de-age a 20-year-old person into a 12-year-old girl again. And I think that's, I said this on Twitter as well. I think Eternals is a property that doesn't need a sequel. It doesn't say it won't get one, and it doesn't say I don't want one. But I say it doesn't need a sequel.
It doesn't need one, right?
No.
And I totally understand where you're coming from. And it was one of the biggest, and you can follow my record on Sakar or any other board I've ever been on, and you will find me again and again saying they're never going to make an Eternals film. And boy, do I have that egg on my face. I was like, they just won't do it. The actors are going to get old. Like it's going to be the opposite of Eternal, but they went ahead and did it. So there you have it.
No,
But,
I think it's going to be a unique project within the MCU. It's going to be very special, and maybe it's not going to be for everybody, but I don't think it will turn into a 3-movie franchise. I just have that feeling. But it's very expensive signing on Angelina Jolie and Selma Hayek and Richard Madden and Kit Harington for a 3-movie deal. So I think this is a one-off. But that it will still be very fantastic. But I gladly give the word back to you.
I would be grateful if they interweave them into upcoming features. You know, like Avengers 5, if they played a part. I don't really need that, second and third in the franchise unless they leave me weeping for more, and I say make another movie. But Taylor.
Yeah, I have no idea if they're going to make a direct Eternals 2 sequel. If they do, I'm fine with that. That's great. I don't know if they'll need to. I don't know if they will. They may use some of the characters, in other movies, just have them show up in other places. But what I was referring to as breakout characters, I wasn't necessarily meaning they had to be in other movies. I'm just talking about how they're going to be extremely popular in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they did want to do a sequel, one throwaway psychobabble line, oh, you know, the Eternals chose which age they want to be for all eternity. If she decides she wants to let herself age to adulthood, she can do that. Magic wand, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, you won.
Right. The Celestials demand that we age now. But guys, this has been a really, really exciting conversation. Glad to see the excitement level, not just here in the room with the champions going up higher, but all throughout the fandom. People are now kind of getting Eternals, or at least beginning to understand that you're not just going to watch you know, like a slow paced movie with some old 50s songs, you know, playing in every act. So but all right, guys. So I'm going to close out this trailer review of the second and final trailer of the Eternals, which again is a project we're all excited here. You need to check us out on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook. The producer will drop the tags and the handles in at the appropriate moment. You should also try and check us out at sakar.freeforums.net to join the conversation and potentially be on the podcast. You don't just have to listen to us yammering. You can join the conversation if you want right here on the podcast. Guys, I hope everybody out there is having a great time. I hope you're being safe. I hope you're happy. Hope you're well. We will see you in the next one.